chicken-themed recipes today. My name is Tori Fuller. I am a registered dietitian here. I'm also the Healthy Heart Program Director. And with me today is Taylor. She is a UCO dietetic intern, so she is doing her master's and her internship at University of Central Oklahoma at Edmond, which is actually where I graduated with my master's and did my internship. So she's here with me this week, and she's going to be helping us out with a couple of the recipes. She's going to be doing the Better Than Ever enchiladas and the Greek yogurt jicama slaw. And then I'm going to be doing the black bean tostadas and the guacamole recipe. So I'm going to let her take it over, and we'll get started.
Okay, so like I said, my name's Taylor. I'm going to be doing the Better Than Ever enchiladas. That's what we're going to start off with. And so if you'll notice, it's going to be with lean ground turkey. So we went to the store, we went to Fire Lake, and we got 2 pounds of the, it was 93%, 7% lean turkey. And we ground that first, and so we already did that just to save some time.
So that's one of the reasons why we're using ground turkey instead of beef today, is because turkey is a leaner meat than beef is. So, and you can use lean ground turkey in most recipes that you use beef with. You can make hamburgers, you can make like these enchiladas, meatloaf, things like that. Anytime that you mix the ground turkey in something, you're going to taste that it's different between turkey and beef less often.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we added the ground turkey into the skillet, and then we have some red and green peppers. So we're just going to throw these in there for them and get started. We mix these up a little bit.
So we already ground the ground turkey just to be quick, a little bit quicker for us today. But we're going to go ahead and mix in the vegetables and saute them in there so that they can get a little bit of a softer texture.
We're using glass Pyrex dish pan. Like, we're going to spray it with Pam. Make sure nothing sticks on there. We're going to stir in this salsa with this chewable.
So the salsa is going to give it some moisture, and it's also going to add flavor without adding a lot of fat. You could also make your own homemade salsa if you have a lot of tomatoes, onions, things like that from your garden, and then use that, and that would be even better. It'd be more
on Fire Lake, they're carb balanced whole wheat tortillas, and they have like 26 grams of fiber.
So it's lower in carbs and it's higher in fiber, so that's going to help stabilize your blood sugar so it doesn't spike up as much. Even though it is made from grains, which is going to affect your blood sugar, it's not going to spike it as much as if you had a white tortilla, flour tortilla.
Okay, next we're going to add the cheese, and we got 2 kinds of cheese here. We got reduced fat cheddar cheese.
I'm using all of the cheese from a whole milk product, which is what most cheeses are. We're doing a blend, so we're doing half and half of the reduced fat and half of the regular cheese. And like she was mentioning, if you don't like the texture or the flavor of a fat-free cheese, then you can try the reduced fat or the part skim. That's going to be a better option.
It's zesty Italian dressing, and so what we're going to do with this is we're going to just spread a little bit over the outside of the tortilla before we put all the meats in and stuff. And so this is like a substitution instead of dipping it in like grease and like frying it, before. You can do this instead, and it also gives it a little bit of flavor. Put it in there, roll it up, and then put the seam side down and just tuck them all together. Okay, and then, so that's basically it. So we mixed the meat, we mixed the salsa, the peppers, all together in the cheese, and cooked them up. And now that it's pretty hot, we're gonna put them in here, roll them all up, tuck them side to side, and then put them in the oven at 400 degrees. Yes, do you have a question? What kind of turkey? Tortillas. Oh, tortillas.
We mentioned how fiber helps with your blood sugar from keeping it from spiking as much. It also helps with weight loss. It helps with keeping you feeling full, satisfied for longer. So that's another good way for weight loss. It helps. It also helps you stay regulated, your GI system, and that's going to help all of your body function properly. So fiber is definitely something that, especially us here in America, we eat a lot more of. We don't get it a lot in the fast foods and things like that we eat more often. I'm working on just cutting up the avocado for the guacamole. I have them take the seeds out, and you can either use a spoon and scoop it, which a lot of people do, or for like mangoes or avocados or things like that, you can cut the little lines in it, which is what I'm doing. And then just flip the skin inside out, and it comes right off into the bowl. You guys know one of the reasons why avocados are so good for our health?
Because of all the oil.
Say that again.
Because of all the oil in them.
They do. They have good, healthy oils. So instead of like the saturated fats that are like in butters and fried foods and things like that, they have the healthy fats in them that we need for our heart health. Another good thing to keep avocados from turning is lime or lemon. And we're also going to put limes in here as well. And that's going to keep it from turning. It's hard to watch your portion sizes when you're going out to eat Mexican, isn't it? One of the things, especially at like Ted's is one of my favorite restaurants, they just keep bringing out those chips and the tortillas and everything like that. It's hard to say no on that, doesn't it? So you just have to make a tight table effort to only have one container of chips. That's a good tip for when you're eating out to try to reduce your carbohydrates and just your portion control, is watching how many tortillas and chips and stuff that you eat before and during. Another good tip is using like the reduced carbohydrate tortillas, the whole wheat tortillas like we're using that have higher amounts of fiber, or the corn. Ordering corn instead of flour on whatever you're ordering at the Mexican restaurant. That's going to also help you with your carbohydrate count. And then we put them in the refrigerator to kind of stop that process a little bit more, even more, so that it didn't turn as fast. And this is going to be a great recipe, the guacamole, for the kids to help with this meal, because they get to mash up the avocado. I always like to try to find stuff where kids can help out in the kitchen, because the more they're interested and know about food, the better off they're going to be, because they're going to be able to do it. The avocados put into the bowl. I had to wait till now so they didn't turn as much. So now I'm going to add the other ingredients. We're going to mash them up. So I am going to take my masher, and I'm just going to mash up the avocado. You can also do this in like a food processor or something like that. This is what's going to be fun for the kids to do, is mash up all these avocados. Yeah, I did, but I brought it for my other recipe. Potato masher.
Arm got tired?
Yeah, well, it wasn't going enough surface area to mash it. Yeah, so we're going to add lime juice. So we have limes. You can also use the lime juice that's in the bottle. That would work just fine too. Fresh is always going to be tasty. Red onion, which we already chopped up, and a half of a teaspoon is going to equal one. And then cilantro. You can use parsley as well if you don't want to use salt and pepper. If you're watching your sodium intake, you could use a salt substitute, or you could just leave out the salt. You're going to mix it up. And that lime juice and the onions, like we talked about, will keep it from what it looks like. It looks yummy. You guys could try it here in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get, so have you guys ever had tostadas or made them at your house? Yep. This is actually a recipe that I just came up with at my house off the top of my head. And it's a black bean tostada recipe. So we have corn tortillas here. which we talked about are going to be better for your carbohydrates because it's a whole grain. The corn is a whole grain. They're also usually smaller than a flour tortilla, which also helps. So we're just going to pop these into the oven and let them crisp up a little bit. While those are cooking, we're going to cook up the added black beans. Okay, so we're going to first, I'm just going to put a little bit of water in the bottom of the pan. You can also use like an olive oil or something like that. And then put in my onion. Cook the onion until it's translucent. And then add the beans and all the seasonings. It says on the recipe about 5 minutes is what they're expecting it to be. And while you do that, you can open all of your cans. Heat up the beans once the onions are translucent. Taylor's going to do the coleslaw recipe.
Okay, so this has got a ton of like fresh vegetables in it. It's really great. And have y'all heard of jicama before? Have y'all ever eaten it before or tried it? Okay, so basically it's a root from around from Central America kind of area, and it's kind of like looks like a potato. I know we've got half of it here to show you guys. But if you want to pass these around, you can grab one and just try it plain raw.
It's actually in your recipe card. It has the information about it.
Yeah, I think it's on the, whenever you open the first little.
You want to pass it around?
Yeah.
Here's some more too.
And this is what it looks like. This is what you would look for in the store. Kind of looks like a potato.
Yeah, it's kind of round.
And then this is what it looks like inside. It's white.
So it's actually like a vine plant, but this is like the root underneath it. And it's really great. There's a ton of, a lot of antioxidants in it. There's a lot of vitamin C. And it's really beneficial for bone health. So if you have osteoporosis, this is a really great thing to try. And also it's a prebiotic. And so does anyone know what a prebiotic is, or the difference between that and a probiotic? So probiotics are like in things like yogurt and that kind of stuff. They're actual bacteria that we have in our stomach, and they help you digest the food that we eat. And so prebiotics help the probiotics absorb all those good nutrients in your gut. And so this is really great because, especially for this recipe, because we've got the prebiotic jicama, and then we're using Greek yogurt instead of mayonnaise, and so they really balance each other out. This is a really great nutrient absorption.
So you can eat the jicama. You can cut it up in little chunks, like we just passed around, and eat it kind of like a baby carrot. You can dip it in different things like hummus.
Does Farm like have it?
Yeah. No. I've seen it there, but they didn't have it right now. We got this at Walmart. I have seen it there before, though. They just didn't have it in
And all these different peppers and stuff. So we got pretty colorful peppers. Just sliced really thin, so it'll be really great.
Yeah.
So let's see. We've got. Let's start with the Julian jicama. So here's the jicama that we sliced up. It looks like this now. It's gonna look like cabbage.
It's a mouthful.
And we sliced it a little bit thinner than what we just passed out so that it mimics the cabbage.
So you got chopped cilantro. And all of this stuff you can either do, if you don't like one thing, you don't have to add it. We just thought we'd add as much stuff as possible. That way it'd be really great, lots of flavors, lots of different textures.
And the bell peppers, obviously we got all the different colors. And so that's something that you want to try to do is get a variety of colors on your plate. So one way to do that, getting multiple different colors of the bell peppers.
Different colored ones, I'm going to throw a little bit of each in there. And we're just going to add about 3 cups of this just regular cabbage, regular coleslaw cabbage.
So since it's cabbage and carrots and bell peppers and cucumbers, cucumbers and you have it as a side, that would be something you could have as a side dish that would be lower in carbohydrates than say rice or beans or something like that.
And this is so colorful. Like this would be so pretty to serve on your tables at Thanksgiving or something like that. You know, like look at this. So pretty. Alright. Now we're gonna do the actual like sauce for it. So it calls for non-fat plain Greek yogurt. So where's that? So we got the Oikos brand. So there's so many different brands of Greek yogurt now. And like I said, the yogurt is a probiotic. So it has like little bacteria in it that are great for our gut, and they help us, you know, have a healthy system in there, get everything moving. So really great to have. And again, the jicama is a prebiotic, which feeds those, which feeds the probiotics and helps them absorb all the good nutrients.
As we talked about last time when we did the Greek recipes, the Greek yogurt has more protein in it, and this one we specifically got one that has 0% fat. So that's going to be a great option if you guys try the yogurt and you can try it.
What do y'all normally use whenever you do coleslaw for your sauce?
KFC.
Mayo?
KFC.
What?
KFC. That's all the kind of slaw he'll eat. So.
Drive-up
He
window.
gets slaw, he gets
Yeah.
everything KFC.
You could also use the Greek yogurt for like potato salad instead of the mayo. So I'll give you something else you can try.
Cider vinegar.
So I put all the ingredients for the black bean tostada in the pot, and so now I'm just going to heat up the black beans until they're nice and warm, and then I'm going to smash them like I did the avocado and put them on the toast. Different kind of coleslaw is actually called a broccoli salad bag that we saw at the store. So instead of you like these? So instead of the cabbage, it's with little broccoli that they sliced up into tiny pieces.
Or just add some stuff in.
Try lots of different stuff.
That's how I like to do it, modify my recipes. Uh-huh.
I found that's the best way to cook. Just throw in what sounds good. We also chose to use Splenda instead of sugar. So this is like a little on the sweet side, a lot more sweet than sugar, I would say. So we're not going to use quite what it calls for on the recipe.
You guys see 'em?